Don't worry, we'll get to VAR in a minute. Let's talk about the game. Chelsea, deserved winners against Spurs? What do you think?
Absolutely. There was only one football team playing. Chelsea passing the ball out from the back, going through the middle, trying to create. Tottenham looking to fool everybody into thinking they're trying to go through the back, and then eventually one of the back three would just kick it forward. So, you know, you can have Harry Kane up front all day long, but if you're going to give him the service or anybody else that they're trying to do, then no wonder they're not going to get out. So Mourinho can't complain about not having a centre forward, because quite frankly, they couldn't play out, and all they did was lump it long.
We'll get to them and Mourinho in a minute. For Chelsea, he spoke about service. Batshuayi had a lot of service in the last game, but couldn't score. He's had to wait patiently, hasn't he?
Yeah, he took it well.
Didn't he?
I mean, he's got the first shot he had was a great save from Lloris on his right hand side. Barkley's hit the crossbar, and then the finish with his left peg is just absolute perfection. He really doesn't have a lot to shoot at.
No.
Lloris is a little blinded by Vertonghen, and the ball goes right in the bottom corner. I mean, it was just a fantastic goal from a guy who clearly, having not played for 3 months, Lampard talked about how professional he's been. You could see that. Mm-hmm. You know, he did last 70 minutes, but I'll tell you, all credit to him as well.
10 goals and 4 assists, I believe, in his last 14 Premier League starts. Not saying he's the answer, but he's all right for now. The answer might be 3-5-2. It was like old-style Chelsea. He was back, and he scored, and could have had another one.
Well, Lampard made 3 or 4 changes today,
yeah.
and every single one of them contributed, particularly to the second goal. The goal that Alonso scored came through the likes of Barkley and Mount, who hadn't been starting recently. So, good move from the coach, but deservedly so. The fact that this ended up 2-1 doesn't tell you the real story of the game.
For Spurs, the consolation at the end. However, they weren't that good. They did look toothless, as you say. But Mourinho comes out again, and it's deflection. It's tactics it's deflection tactics. It's there's always an excuse for him. How much, not trouble are they in, but as far as the Champions League spot's concerned?
I wouldn't be putting any money on it. You know, there was no... He said after the game they were well organised. Well, for a start, they got beat. Secondly, Marcos Alonso had acres of space for the second goal. So they weren't particularly that well organised. But I'll tell you what, they never played any football in this game whatsoever. They never strung any sort of passing movement or any number of passes together.
They had one at Lucas Moura, but that was it. That was the sum total.
One, when was that? Because I can't remember it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it wasn't exact. It was a good save from Willy Caballero, but that was it. They can't score goals. They don't have Kane. I get that. They don't have Son, but just the same old afterwards.
Well, it's you know, we thought Spurs' problems were just the players that hadn't signed contracts. You know, everybody's unsettled. You know, not quite at it. But now it's just boring Tottenham. That's all. This team is boring. I mean, they've got nothing to offer. Not from what we've seen since Mourinho got there. Now, people like me always talk about, well, it's about results. Up until today, he's been getting results.
Yeah.
They're actually in 5th position, which is incredible.
Because they
haven't played any football. They haven't played any football whatsoever since he got there.
They've given the opposition a lot of possession, and at times it works. Anyway, let's go on. VAR. How can initially, when they look at that, think that Lo Celso's challenge? I mean, initially it was like, he had nowhere else to put his leg. How did they get this so badly wrong?
Well, because the man in charge doesn't know what he's looking at. It's actually very simple. The person who's responsible for making that decision at Stockley Park shouldn't be making that decision. He's clearly shown the fact that he has decided that Lo Celso's challenge on Azpilicueta is not a red, tells you that he needs to be moved backwards.
Oh, and by the way,
he should not be in charge.
He then did the VAR of Leicester against Man City as well. Now, 20 minutes after them coming out and saying, or VAR coming out and saying, nope, referee didn't make a clear and obvious error, they admitted, yes, there was. Michael Oliver's, 10 yards away from the monitor? Come on. The time it takes for him to just go and have a look. Let him have the final say. No, not at all.
No, it's Mike Riley.
Thank you.
Mike Riley is the guy who decides who's in charge for whatever games. Mike Riley is the guy who has decided the protocol for when you can't go and look at the monitor. So ultimately, he's in charge. And when it goes badly wrong, guess what? He's the one that should be held responsible, as well as the man who made the decision.
In the first year of the Bundesliga, one of the hierarchy involved in VAR fell on his sword because the implementation didn't go as they would have liked. Should Mike Riley fall on his sword after this?
Absolutely.
He can't really defend and they'll try. They'll do Jose Mourinho deflection tactics.
In any walk of life, when you're in charge, regardless of what it may be, and it's continuing to go wrong, there's only one thing usually ends up happening.
VAR's here to stay, but VAR is human oriented. VAR's never wrong. This is the whole thing. It's controlled by people who make mistakes, human beings.
Listen, VAR, in my opinion, VAR's great. I think VAR, absolutely. We used to complain about the referees who had to make a snap decision, and then we would dissect them getting it wrong. Now we've moved on, rightly so, to a situation where you can have another look at a big decision and decide whether it's right or wrong. VAR's fantastic. It's just the people who are behind the VAR who either need to up the game or move on and get somebody in who knows what they're looking at.
Finally, he's not going to face a ban now because of the way that this was handled. Now, it's potentially a leg-breaking tackle. So many things wrong with this, and if the Premier League, PGMOL, don't learn from this, I don't know what's going to happen next.
I've got no problem him not getting banned.
I understand about
things happen on the field. If the referee doesn't deal with it on the field, whether it's VAR or anything else, you can't go. And I dislike re-refereeing games after they're finished. So I have no problem with this, him not getting a ban. Yes, it's a red. He wasn't given the red. So when the game's finished, it's over. And
they said initially about re-refereeing games that they'll not do that. They'll not do it from Stockley Park. But now they are. And this isn't Lo Celso. This is the game and this is VAR. This was a horrible day for VAR, but a good day for Chelsea.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.